Marvin Vettori, given all of the buildup in this fight, how satisfying was that win?
It was great, man. So much was going on. Has been going on for the last 6 months, and so much focus and improvement has been made. So much back home has been going on, and I want to dedicate this victory also to my grandpa that passed away a month ago, just before my other fight. I couldn't do it then because obviously the fight didn't happen, but he was already sick for a while. But just the fact that I wasn't there it hurt a lot for me, and I just want to dedicate my victory to him.
Well, I know you made him
rest in peace.
Very, very proud tonight. Absolutely. Thank you. You were talking a little bit to Dana after the win. What were you saying to him there?
I said 8 fights, never got a bonus. This is the one. This is the fight that I need a bonus for.
Well, listen, as soon as the fight hit the canvas, it was all you searching for those submission attempts. Did things play out on the ground the way that you expected them to? He
was out of the fight, not physically, more mentally. I was punching him, a lot of punches weren't going through, and I was telling him, he was stumbling, making noises. He wanted the referee to step in. And I was a little bit too much in a flurry, and I didn't even land too many punches, but he wanted out. And man, I knew this because I can pick these things, and just all the build up to the fights, I knew he would come out strong. But when he would throw his weapons, and they wouldn't have worked, he was just giving up. And I knew. I mean, all these things show me throughout the build up to the fight that he wasn't willing to go all the way, And going in, I'm like, I'm ready to die. Whatever happens, I'm ready to die. If there is 1 second, I'm gonna try to stay in the fight. I'm trying to win it at any cost. And I knew that he wasn't there mentally like me, because little things, the fact that he's given up before the time given for making weight, the less commitment to making weight, a lot of things. He came out pretty sharp. I was like. And we knew he's a one-handed fighter. He was trying to counter my jab with his overhand. And but we were ready, man. And I know, like I said, I was every time I was talking to the guy, and people would say he thought that I was underestimating the guy. I was like, no, man, I know he's gonna come out strong, but he's gonna fade out throughout the fight. And he did.
Well, he did fade, and a big part of that was all of the ground and pound that you were landing a little bit later in the fight there. You grabbed the back, got the hook in, sunk in that rear naked choke. As soon as you got that arm underneath, did you know it was over?
Yeah, right there it was over. Yeah, I knew. But he got out from that guillotine. That was crazy. I mean, he climbed the cage with his back.
Yes.
Shoot, man. I wasn't expecting that.
I've never seen defense like that before, man. That was crazy. To talk about what's next for you, I know you want a top 15 guy. Do you have a name, and if not, when?
Well, there was Ian Heinisch in the talk, and by now he's fighting another guy. There's been Jacare for a second, and I think he didn't want it, or he was sick, or I don't know. I have max respect for the guy. Not trying to call him out in any bad way, but definitely a fight that I would like. And I don't know, a lot of guys, who else is there? Anybody, man. Honestly, anybody. Just give me a name. I need to climb up the rankings.
That's 9 submission wins for you. Congratulations, and thank you so much for taking a second. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Congratulations, and why don't you just walk me through the fight? Tell me what it was like out there in your flyweight debut.
Well, it was a little bit weird because, there's no crowd, so it's quiet and you can hear everything. I guess the good part is that, I can hear her corner, and luckily I actually know some of the moves, combinations that they were saying, because of Bang Muay Thai, which is where I used to train Bang Muay Thai too, so I knew what she was gonna throw. And I think I was throwing those combinations and not her. So it felt good, It felt good to also know that this was my 5-rounder and still have plenty of energy to go in there. So that was one of the biggest things that I was questioning to see, because you can do it in the gym, but doing it in a fight is way different.
Yeah. What was the biggest difference for you? And I know you fought at this weight before, but the biggest difference fighting, someone who's obviously very highly ranked in that weight class. What was the biggest difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just really seeing probably the weight, just to see how much bigger she was going to get, because obviously she missed weight by a lot. Although she only says 0.2, we all know she cheated and grabbed the towel, because in reality she was 129.5, and because her coach had just messaged us telling us that she was going to miss weight, and for surprise out of nowhere, 30 minutes later, she happens to be 126.5 or 0.2, which is complete bullcrap. So I was gonna see how I was gonna deal with her big weight difference, but I did pretty good.
Yeah, well, you said you did really good. I mean, you almost won every round against her. But
Yeah.
what was it like, kind of feeling that? What did you notice about it? That extra weight in the cage?
You know what? It was fine. You know, it was great. I think I just needed to make sure that I kept chain wrestling and I kept going. My biggest concern was that going into the 5th round, dealing with that kind of weight. But I did great. I feel like I'm going to be able to push a little bit more, especially because I only had 3 weeks to get ready for this fight. I had no gym to train at, like let alone a team. So.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good for your debut and not much of a camp. So now she was ranked number 1 at the UFC ranking.
Yeah.
Where do you think this puts you, and how quickly would you want to face Valentina Shevchenko?
I mean, I just want to fight as much as I can. I've had like 2 really slow last years, and I want to fight as much as I can. Whoever, you know, whether the title comes next or if it's somebody else, I don't care. I just want to fight. You know, I'm not here to wait for the perfect fight or the right opportunity. You know, like I said, you just got to run with it. So whatever's next, you know, we're going to get checked out and see where I stand in the rankings come this week, and then we'll move forward from there.
Yep. And last question, she's got, you know, a test ahead of her herself and Joanne Calderwood, but how do you think you match up with Valentina?
I mean, I think I got the best ground game in the division, honestly. So I think I'm definitely gonna give her probably the biggest run in the division as far as like the ground game and stuff like that. I know she's fighting Joanne Calderwood, which I beat previously already. So you know, we're gonna keep training, and I think I'm gonna do good. I think it's gonna be classic striper versus grappler match.
Thanks very much, Brendan. Well, Dana, tonight we have a really fun matchup at the top of the card, a women's flyweight bout between Jessica Eye and Cynthia Calvillo. Jessica Eye, always a tough out, but Cynthia really has a shot at disrupting, the top of this division. What do you like about this fight?
Yeah, I like everything about this fight. I think it's going to be exciting. You know, I think no matter where this thing goes, on the feet or on the ground, it's a fun fight. So Cynthia Calvillo's been waiting for her big shot, and this is it. Tomorrow night is everything that she's worked for her entire career, and she can pull off a win, you know, over Jessica. She's in the title hunt.
Well, in the co-main event, we've got Carl Robertson taking on Marvin Vettori. This fight's been booked a number of times. You know, both these guys like to stand and bang. Both can get it done on the ground. But, man, there's some extra juice on this fight now, given the bad blood.
Yeah, they don't like each other. You know, they got into it in the lobby in Florida, and here we go. Now we're finally here. These two are going to fight. Both have heavy hands. Both have knockout power. Both have good chins. This should be a fun one.
Unfortunately, a couple weight misses on this card. Obviously, we all know your stance on that, but it's trying times, right? A lot of these fights are coming together last minute. Are your feelings softened a bit given kind of the way these cards are coming through? Or no, be a professional.
No, it's trying times, but if you look at how many fights we've done and how many people have been on weight, it's just there's no excuse for it. Everybody knows we're back. Everybody knows to stay in shape right now and get ready for fights. And if you accept the fight and you say, yes, I want it, you better be ready.
Well, let's talk about UFC 251 shaping up to be an absolutely insane card. You've got Kamaru Usman taking on Gilbert Burns in that main event there, the championship belt on the line. A lot of people, like to discuss who should have been next to face Kamaru. What made Gilbert Burns the next person in line? I imagine taking out the #1 contender is, a big part of that. Yeah,
I mean, the guy's been on a tear. He wants to stay active. He wants to keep fighting, and he's the #1 ranked guy in the world. I mean, right now, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, but we were in matchmaking the other day. Across the board, we have all the champions are fighting the #1 contenders right now. So it's a really good time for fights. I mean, wacky year with all the things that are going on in the world right now. But we were in the war room yesterday, and in matchmaking, when you look at the fights that are coming up this summer, it's going to be an incredible summer of fights. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about Fight Island. The cards over there are stacked. We have a 10-mile radius safety zone, it's called there, where we're the only ones in the hotel. We're the only ones at the arena. We are the only ones in the restaurant. Each guy has his own private training facility. It's going to be a unique experience. It's going to be fun this summer.
An island on an island in some respects there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's going to be cool.
Well, we've got Max Holloway take on Alex Volkanovski for the second time, and everybody loves a good rematch. And that was a rematch that I think a lot of people were thinking about almost immediately after that fight. When did you decide that this is what's next for Alex?
Listen, the fight was so close. It was so good. And when you look at a guy like Holloway, who has dominated that division for such a long time, he deserves the rematch. Even Volkanovski didn't disagree that he deserves the rematch. Plus, if you're a guy like Volkanovski that beats Holloway in a really close fight, and a guy who's dominated like he has, and then you beat him twice, it's a really good thing for his resume.
It's a fantastic thing for his resume. It is a fantastic thing for the fans. Dana, UFC 251 is going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait for Fight Island. Thank you so much for taking a second. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.